Hello and welcome back to an engorged Romania here. Large fat Romania, compared to the start anyway. And decisions, what we're going to do about such a reduced manpower or usable manpower. So what are we going to do with them, basically? We don't have, as is, we need a better conscription law. The only way we're going to get that is to fight someone a lot stronger than ourselves, which makes it a bit dicey because we have no manpower to fight someone, well, maybe not stronger than ourselves, but given who is left around us, we would end up at war with one or more of the large factions, which would prove rather unpleasant for us in our current state. So we can either go to a different ideology so that we can bypass the at war. Now, of those two, however, if we go to our focus, if we go down towards the fascist sort of route, don't get to use this, which or we could do, but as you can see in there, it removes a 1% recruitable population, which is huge, and removes a large part of why we'd be going in that direction anyway, as we will be aiming for a higher conscription law. So that makes that one less appealing. Admittedly, we could always just skip out on getting those extra bonuses that, well, that one's just democratic, which doesn't assist, which leaves the other option of Soviet, which these ones don't remove that 1% recruitable population. It adds an extra rather than replaces the national spirit, which is possible, and then that sort of lends ourselves towards moving into a sphere with the big chunky red or dark red people here. But either of those do make it, it makes it seem a bit easier, unless we do the first of those two and simply skip out on the additional bonuses of that and remain our own selves, merely friendly with our surrounding fascist people, and just don't join in with them. That could be a possible option, or only join in with them if Mr. Soviet decides to come and try and steal some of our land, as they will eventually, based off of their focuses. However, that would end up meaning combating the Allies, and at some point this big chunky chap over here is going to join in, as it's set to historical, which makes it rather likely he's going to give them a hand. And, well, I'll show you, we have a whole up to 5 dockyards, and our navy consists of 4 destroyers and 4 submarines. Yeah, so actually actively engaging in any form of landings without a significant amount of time and effort seems unlikely. So, well, that's quite nice though. Italy smushing on Egypt could make that an interesting option, and it also means we don't have to join them. It would just give us that boost towards going the different ideology, to give us the option for that other law, as Soviet one would probably be a bit safer long term. We join with them. We just simply have to sort of hold, which, while not easy, would probably be plausible. Significantly extend the German lines there against versus just these guys, and it would make things tricky for them. Plus, some of the territory in this area, if we were at least able to push to start with, there's some nice chunky mountains and hills in that area, giving us a possible defensive line if we could make an initial push anyway. So there's that. So you've got either or has its bonuses, but just feel like doing the Soviet one makes things just that bit easier. Although it does set us up for the potential of a second large conflict. Admittedly, if you get the east-west afterwards, if we are able to hold that line long enough for the Soviets to roll in. The only thing being, it's that much easier with our starting popularities over here to get the fascist bit to pop. Because this one only takes up below 40, whereas this, on top of what we already have, would boost it over 50 to start with. So I think we've got as long as it takes us to finish our current. We want the research anyway, so we can take some time and consider. I think I'm leaning slightly towards the initial person died. The initial fascist leaning to get to that flip that little bit quicker. However, I'm not sure, because it leaves us extremely vulnerable to future aggression, as there's no guarantee the Axis will be friendly towards us just because we are also fascist, although probably. However, it will also certainly mean Mr. Soviet here will not like us, so we shall have to see there. Admittedly, we could do with... The main point is we want to be able to boost it so we can use that focus to be able to poke Turkey, open up a second border. That one's not too bad to defend. It's all hilly and mountainous and stuff, and there's oil over there. There's our resources. Yeah, there's large chunky oil and stuff and resources in this area, allowing us to do some significant damage potentially to the Soviets, even if we don't join the Axis. However, this involves getting that manpower in the field, so annoyances. Now, what do we want from you? We are still 39. The next is 40, which is just one of these, which is a single one anyway. How many factories do we have? We have a fair few civilian factories now. However, we are trading for a few things. We're going to need some more steel. And now, because we've got the that's particular trade law in, we are actually getting rid of so much of those things. I don't know whether there's a potential for it maybe being beneficial to consider. Although we still have slots left, we don't need to convert. We can continue trading away spare factories, so we'll leave that as is. We're not there yet, I don't think. So what else do we want? Maintenance. We don't actually have you in anywhere yet. Logistics. We do use you. Now, this is actually something I was thinking. We have a lot of spare infantry equipment. So now that we're in a better place, swapping this out to the more expensive 2 is actually a reasonable proposition. Right, so, and aside from that, we need to do some trading. Drop to 3, so we're still moving. So we want another couple of steel. What do we got here? Let's do a couple of German ones as well. Balance this slightly. As now, who does have? Oh, how many convoys do we have? We have a few, and we're going up. We're not currently at war, so we just need to try and remember that. Who are British Malaya have a hell of a lot of rubber. So do the Dutch East Indies. Let's try the Dutch East. We don't want 3. We'll only use 2. We're not going to try for stuff that's more than the what we'd actually get out of it. And now that that's finished, we don't actually need, or we won't get that particular full 8 out of a trade for that either. So I'm going to take that. So it's oil and tungsten, which are a bit tight as is. What is Mr. Germany doing? North, right? Not being a silly boy and attacking the Soviets just yet. So the other point we need to consider is amending our divisions further, which is a good point. We're going to pause for this one because I want to take a brief moment to grab you. How many of different types do we have? I think the first one I want to do is swap out all of our little hats for stars. We're going to run out of manpower doing that, but I think I'm also going to get rid of all of our mountain units because we have... So, regards for these 29, that's where it's selected. We do not currently have enough of some of these things, so we will... We do have enough manpower to swap that lot over there, which is good, so we won't get rid of the other guys just yet. We'll consider it. So we'll do that to start with. Then I am going to swap this one back to a little hat. Where's the little hat gone? Let's default. There we are. As we no longer have hats. And the other one we want to get rid of is the horses. I want to move them over into tanks, really. We're quite short of... That's the anti-tank, motorised and support. So support I'm okay with. Motorised will pick up and get on there. That will be okay. Interwar fighters, not too fussed about you going up too much. I'm going to put you to that, I think, first of all. Now, artillery's fine, we've got a slight surplus. That should be fine, the support equipment. How long is it? Only just over a month, that's perfectly fine. You're a month as well, you two are okay. So anti-tank, that's quite a while. And that's an artillery change, which is fine, because... Where are we? We're still in 39. Actually, hold on. We're in mid-November in 39. Do we have anything stopping? Yeah, that's okay. That one can swap to the next. I can't remember what they're called. Computery type, research time, techie things. Right, so we're going to swap out you, because we do have a surplus already of you, for these. So boost and get you starting to upgrade. It's just whether we put... How many are we building? We don't actually have that much being constructed, so I think I'll leave the anti-tank as is and just put up with the fact it's going to take a little while to swap them over. We want to extend our other bits a bit more. Now the other thing we do, as this isn't actually going to take too long, I think we also spend some bits and pieces boosting you. For the moment, we are going to leave you as normal light tanks, basically. Quick breakthrough units. We don't have the self-propelled sorted out, so we'll just do that. What does this do? It actually adds organisation, dropping these guys in. They do have a fair bit of manpower in there. We want that one. We want logistics. Do we need any of these? Engineers are useful, but their defense... only a small amount of breakthrough. We haven't generally seen too much tanks yet, but there were two people we're kind of going to be going up against. Has got that. How are your firepower? We could probably use a bit more soft attack as well, so either of those two would be useful. Do we want ever logistics or recon? We don't have a no, we do have maintenance. You're at the top. Hold on. What did I... When did I just do that way around? I must have just done it that way around. That's all okay. Getting confused myself. So, soft attack for blowing men apart, or hard attack and more specifically piercing. Now we're already light on anti-tank guns, and you've got some yourself anyway, because you're light tanks. So I think we do go with the artillery, keep the speed up, stay 20 width. Now how much? You're fine, you're not fine, but close. You're a little short, but that will be okay. That's massively fine. There's a bit of manpower change here, but I think we do this. We will want to change it around a bit later on, but we don't quite have some of the right extras researched to add in properly there. The different types of variants is the one I'm looking for. Right, so we're going to wait a month and then put you on the computing machine. Okay, like that. Now we want to grab the horses before too long, because the other stuff is close enough to be okay for this. Grab you, but we just want you, and you, and you. Is that it? That looks like it. Switch you all to tanky guys. We need a lot more light tanks to do this. That's a point. Well. Set to normal. We are not planning on engaging anyone for the foreseeable future. The only point about that, it may well be worth pulling those tanks into their own division. Give you a... I don't know what we want to do with you. Let's just garrison you on there for the moment. Just to get you out of the way. I'll give you... We had a Panzer guy, did we? Or we not have a Panzer? We don't have a Panzer guy. You can be our new tank leader. Right. So, oh, he's finished his Scandinavian thing. So he's going north now. Denmark, Norway won't be too far afterwards, I would expect. There we go. And now see if he actually manages to actually do that one or not. Ooh, that's happened quite early. You usually take a while to do that one, and you've joined in. Now that makes things interesting, because if you take Gibraltar, yep, there we go. That seals that end of the Med off from British ships, which is something that didn't happen. Just leaves the Suez, which makes things a little different, or potentially. The only thing with nationalist Spain, they are quite a squishy country when played by the AI, and they are quite vulnerable to northern naval invasions, which can sap possibly more than they provide. So could go both ways, but it gives Italy and Vichy France over here a bit of a breather with regards to Allied naval involvement in the Med, which is quite interesting. Which means Turkey becomes quite an attractive proposition. Now we had the power to put something else in here. We don't have the one of them I want. Don't have the one of those I want. I don't. So you do basically nothing. I don't really want you. What do we have here? You're just time. You're just time. You're just time. That's the same. You two I'm not too fussed about. So we can't boost our mobilization, we can't boost our conscription. Those two are irritating. So we can push some naval guys, not overly concerned nor about those. So we can boost some paratroopers if we end up getting some, but we don't have any. Same with special forces. That could be an interesting option. But is it a useful one? I may just leave this to tick for now. Because I don't think none of the options give us an immediate boost. I'm not that fussed about grabbing some of these ones. How many bits do we really need to research from in here? That's not too heavy. You've got a fair amount of support stuff to research. We've already got a guy for that. Can't pick the one of you I want. So you could be useful because we're going to want mechanized stuff, and I think the motorization goes into that. Artillery, that page we're going to have a lot to do on, and it's possibly more than we're going to have to do on the infantry set. So it might be you, because there aren't very many of these techs, I don't believe. Although some of the support probably use that one as well. I think they're the only ones I'm interested in at the moment, yes. And saying this while thinking of this, we are going past what we want to do with this one. What do we want to do? I think we'll just go with you. There's a fair chunk in there, both the artillery and anti-tank, that we want to use. What have you got to? Oh, we put another research, jolly good. Right, so shall we then start down this bit? I'm still not completely decided between these two. But we shall start it, because I don't think you're useful just yet. Yeah, nuclear reactors. Can't do anything with that just now, so that's not particularly helpful. So what do we want you to do? It's not much in here. Well, we are 1940, and that one is a straight research time boost. We need some of this stuff. Did we already? We already have an air dude, don't we? We do already have an air dude. Let's let you tick, because we've got the time for that. I think then, let's start doing some of this. Because we need a better air force. We've got, like, pre-interwar fighter crap being utilised and constructed currently, which is a bit not brilliant. What are you flickering around for? So you lot are out of the way. You lot are not too bad. You lot. Oh, we've got another one. I missed one. So it's just what to do with our mountain guys. A few of them we've got. Whether we swap them over to the infantry units or not. I don't think I'm going to have enough manpower to make that plausible. So I think we might just get rid of them. It'll free up a little bit, or we just wait for the moment. We don't need it just yet. Denmark. That one's not overly surprising with just how easily they can get in. It's Norway that Germany seems to struggle with in this one, or AI Germany seems to struggle with more specifically. What are you doing? You're justifying on Lithuania. Are you still going elsewhere? You are, but you're running out of some of this stuff. No, you're not. You've already done this, then. That's not very nice of you. You really already done that bit? It would appear that you do. You have already done that. That's interesting. You snuck it through without me paying attention. Right, at least they haven't justified on it yet, which is a concern. Oh, they're justifying on Finland, Winter War. Is it a late winter war? I'm not entirely certain, to be honest. Right, tanks. Well, anti-tanks. We are into 40 now, so it might be worth popping some of these. Is there anything else that I'm forgetting about 40? You're all okay. You're going to be useful, but the production so I think we do start with you. There we go, and then swap that over once we get there, because we should be a bit closer on this. There's still a little while, but that amount of days isn't too bad for that one. It's mostly the tanks at the moment, isn't it, that we're missing out on. We still have an absolutely huge amount of infantry equipment, which has its bonuses, admittedly. I think we'll boost this as well. Not that we're likely to get there, but it will be useful. What are we? Yeah, that's kind of expected. You have a war goal and you're justifying more? Okay. Have fun. Oh, have you actually attacked them now? No, you just have the lead. Right, that's okay then. So, relatively slow. What, 6 months or so? Oh, Germany's wandered down to play with the Free French as well. Italy's having an interesting time in Egypt. It's definitely having some issues. Right, do we actually have any? We only have one, and you're a spotting chap. We'll put you with you'll all die if you out of port, so we don't really fussed about you lot. Right. This way, I think we may actually just go back up to speed 4. I think we will, yes. Not too much going on. Ticking along nicely. What are you doing? You're doing researching, you're doing bombers, carriers. So we need to... We can't... Oh, the only... Oh, yeah, there we go. That's sort of expected. It's probably starting quite a late one. We would quite like Mr. Turkey over here. Really? As it opens up possibilities elsewhere. However, I am concerned around simply justifying on them, because I don't want Mr. Allies to guarantee them, as that would be irritating, because I'm not overly interested in being at war with them just yet, at least. And especially as we do have a focus, although it is tantalizingly out of reach. So, although the one I don't get out of these numbers is the total manpower is 750, yet we can only actually have about, well, less than 620 being used, well, maybe 625 between the army, air, navy, and the few thousand spare. So where's the other 100 and something gone? Yeah, and no. Hiding under the bed or something, I don't know. It's quite annoying. So if we'd have got that extra 1% from Hungary playing along earlier, we'd have been able to do that, but then we wouldn't have a couple of there, I suppose. So it either way. So this section is a little slower. Right, so we got the first one. So we sort of now need to pick so that we can get that move on the manpower front of things. Shall we go with you? I think we do. I think it'll just be most likely quicker in the short term. This one's probably safer long term, but I want to do things now. Don't want to have to wait. But then we get an extra minor little bonus here. Ooh. Ooh. I ain't got that one. Yeah. One or the other. Or we go with this one and then swap one of our guys out for a communist guy, maybe? Maybe that would be better. We get the extra minor bonuses from that one if we want them. And the Soviets are slightly more friendly, as the Axis tend to be a little bit easier to push over the cliff. So even if we don't join them, as it doesn't state that we should join them, it's just being friendly with. I think, yes, we shall go that way, but not to join them. Just to, yeah, that's sort of expected. What are you doing? You're being friendly with... You've already befriended Japan. You're... Oh, we've got spare factories. I didn't notice we're that far through our things. We probably want to trade a few of them away as well, but let's just have a look at this for a moment. Where are we? Right. So the 70s are all done. We have a fair few. Probably going to trade away a few of them to get ourselves back up to a good on the productionness of things. No, it's not that one. I don't want to build in my other places. Oh, I might do. It probably improves whatever they those interaction bits. But we've got plenty to do ourselves first. Realistically, I want to up some of this because it is a bit shoddy. Might even take the time to do some of our little subject people's ones as well. Take them all up to 7 and then just put up with not having any more factories for a little while because we need to prepare our future offensives as well as being able... We're at a passable equilibrium on equipment now, and you're going to, I think, also have a pause here. But yeah, we're at a passable equipment equilibrium sort of thing now. Admittedly, we're having extensive amount of spare infantry equipment for now. If we get a sufficiently large extra amount of manpower, that won't be an issue, and we are working on utilizing it elsewhere with boosting our other things, which admittedly does need the factories, but we want to take the factories from Mr. Turkey. He doesn't have that many though, does he? But still, it's utilizing... We need better infrastructure and it will make the long-term construction quicker, and we are expecting a war after the war as well as the current setup. So we shall see you next time as I take a brief pause.